Hi everyone, David Aragona and Mike Beer here, taking a look at the DRF Friday race of the day, which comes down south at Gulfstream Park. Race 6 is a maiden special weight race. This one going the 1 mile distance around one turn for the 2-year-old, soon to turn 3 on January 1st. And we don't usually choose maiden races for the races of the day, Mike, but might be time to start following some of these up and coming 2-year-olds in Florida because a lot of them do end up in stakes races. We'll see if that's the case for any of the horses that are in this field. One of them has kept some pretty good company. That's the number 6 Vino Vici. Haven't yet seen the morning line, but would imagine this horse is one of the shorter prices based on the company that he's kept so far in his career.
That's what I thought too. Just feels like maybe he's, finding a little bit of an easier spot here based on who we faced in his first 3 starts. That could be enough for him, David. It's still kind of hard to tell if any of these horses are going to turn out to be anything. A lot of his rivals are still very lightly raced this late in the game.
Yeah, a lot of these horses look pretty similar, especially from a speed figure standpoint. We'll see if they can improve in their second, third, or fourth starts in the case of Vino Vici. Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector for this race, and I'll note the Pace Projector and other features in Timeform US can be accessed by you for free. With this being the DRF race of the day, you get access to free Timeform US formulator and classic PPs. Mike, not sure we can read too much into a Pace Projector in a race of lightly raced maidens, but I would imagine that the number 4 Redemption Hour will go forward based on the speed he showed in his debut race. But the number 2 One Reward actually beat him to the front in the same race, so I'd imagine he would go to the inside of him.
Yeah, kind of interesting that the Pace Projector thinks Redemption Hour is faster because he certainly wasn't when they ran against each other last time, but it was only his first start. He'll probably show speed again here. We'll see if he can make the lead.
Let's go through this field from the rail out, beginning with the number 1, Freddie B, who was one of 2 first-time starters in this race. This one going out for the Ken McPeek barn. And Mike, I was looking up some stats for Ken McPeek. He can win with horses like this, first-time starters in dirt routes over the past 5 years. He's 11 for 88, 13% win rate with a $2.29 ROI. So that's a reason to at least consider this horse. Though I don't know about you, Mike. When I was looking at this pedigree, I saw a lot of turf in there.
Yeah, that was my main issue with him too. I mean, he's by Quinteros, and those horses can do anything, and they do win early. But there's so much turf on the bottom of this pedigree. It made me want to maybe take a wait and see approach. I saw all the same things you did as far as McPeek goes with first time starters. I don't love 2-year-olds debut and going a mile, but listen, it's not like he's found the toughest field in the world.
Interesting work tab. A couple of 1 minute, 5 furlongs drills recently. There is a 46 and 4 half mile buried in there if you go a little bit while back in the work tab. So maybe a horse who's showing some ability in the morning. We'll see if he's ready to win on debut going a mile. The number 2, One Reward, a horse who's competed in a couple of pretty tough maiden races in Kentucky, ran into a very impressive runner for, I believe, Cherie DeVoe on debut when Englishman wired a field, and One Reward could never really get in the mix behind that horse, finishing 4th. Showed a lot more early speed last time, Mike, putting the blinkers on, and I thought ran on decently to be 3rd. The winner of that race, who I believe is the Brad Cox runner, looks like a horse that you might want to follow in stakes company down the line. One Reward could not match that one's finishing ability. He is switching into a new barn. I'm not sure exactly the circumstances around this. The listed trainer is the wife of trainer William Walton. Don't know if she's going out on her own. She was a former assistant to trainer Brad Cox.
Yeah, I'm glad you got some information there. I was wondering about this trainer as far as I can tell, her first starter. So we'll see. I mean, this horse, I do expect him to show speed again in this race, David. He's kind of like my least favorite kind of a horse, especially if he's going to take money, because I really think the only thing to like about him is the 2 races that he's running. And they were 2 pretty strong maiden special weight races at Churchill Downs. So maybe that'll be enough to just take a shot with him here. And he did show improved speed last time, but I didn't think he ran particularly well either time. He just happened to be in really good fields.
And of all the horses in this race, he's the one where I look at the pedigree and I really question the stretch out to a mile because he's by Rowayton, who was a very fast horse. There's a lot of speed on the dam side, so we'll see if the added distance works for him. The number 3, Diamond Knife, another one that doesn't have the most convincing profile to stretch out in distance, though he does have 1 start under his belt where he finished decently, just kind of stayed on at 1 pace to be 3rd in there. This is a horse who, could see no match for the top 2 finishers on this day. A Son of Violence. He's out of a Too Much Bling dam. There's a lot of sprint pedigree on the dam side. Goes out for Jose D'Angelo, obviously coming off a very big Breeders' Cup, so we'll see if he has another talented horse in the barn with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this horse could certainly move forward off of the debut. I mean, it's not like he did a ton of running in there. He just sort of sat on the rail, never really made his presence felt, couldn't get second at the end behind that dominant winner who was on the lead the entire way. I don't know. I didn't see him do a ton of running, but I guess he could easily take a little bit of a step forward here.
And I should mention his trainer, Jose D'Angelo, was this week's guest on our Off the Track podcast hosted by Gino Bacola. Definitely check out that episode, the interview with that recent two-time Breeders' Cup winner. The number 4, Redemption Hour, like we said earlier, he chased one reward in his debut race at Churchill Downs. Couldn't really keep up with that one early and really looked like he was struggling to keep pace as they moved past the half-mile pole and then just steadily retreated. Now Carlos David's putting blinkers on for the second start, and we'll see if that brings out a better performance, Mike, but he's got a lot of improving to do.
Yeah, he just didn't run well first time out. I mean, you don't have to, hold it entirely against him. He was going 7 furlongs, a race where it seemed like they wanted to make the lead with him, and he couldn't get there. And he just backed up throughout the race. In that race, he just didn't run well. Carlos, this trainer, he does tend to do a little bit better after a start. He can win with a first-time starter. His horses, his 2-year-olds in particular, they get much better after a race.
The number 5, Gregarious, a horse by Motown making his career debut. He did work 10 flat at the OBS March sale earlier this year. I would imagine that has a lot to do with the $50,000 purchase price because you look at this pedigree and Mike, there's not a whole lot going on the dam side with this horse. So maybe the workout caused that purchase price. And this is a trainer that I'm not personally familiar with. Has had a little bit of success with debut runners. If you look up the stats and formulator, though, not really sure what to make of this one at the level he's starting out at.
It's a small sample. You're right. This trainer has had some success with first-time starters, but it's a really small sample at this point. So we'll see if he can, keep that going as he tries. It seems like a pretty tough race here, going a mile. I'm with you on the pedigree too, David. I mean, if you go back, in a couple of generations, this is the female family of Raging Fever, who was a really good. This is a Ned Evans female family going back, and it's a really good one too. But there's really nothing up close.
The number 6, Vino Vici, has pretty clearly kept the best company in this race. I mean, he's finished behind horses that have been competitive in stakes races, most recently finishing second, albeit second 20 lengths behind the winner, who was Further Ado, who came back to win the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club last weekend. That horse did regress in the Beyer speed figure scale when he won that stakes. He obviously earned a huge high 90s figure when he beat Vino Vici by 20 lengths in that Keeneland maiden race. I think he only got an 82 last weekend, but still, Mike, I'm not going to hold that against Vino Vici. He kept good company this summer at Saratoga, has just run well every single time in some pretty tough maiden races in New York and Kentucky. And this just does not feel like it's quite as deep a field as he's encountered previously.
Yeah, if nothing else, it just feels like this might just finally be the right spot for this horse. He's run okay in his first 3 starts. He didn't run good. I actually liked his debut a little bit, David. I don't necessarily feel like he's gone forward that much in his 2 starts since then, but
Fair.
They're better horses. He is turning back a little bit in this race while everybody else is either stretching out or making their debuts, and that could be an advantage as well.
Rounding out this field is the number 7, The Pulse. This is a horse making the second start of his career after he closed for third on debut at Gulfstream Park, going 7 furlongs. And Mike, I was curious what you made of the replay of that race. I didn't pull it up to show because I guess they had a new camera operator for that race. It was a little hard to follow this horse at any point. But a couple of runners really dueled on the front end, went fast early, kind of felt like they were coming back to the field. It also felt like this horse was really finishing. Not sure how much credit I wanted to give him for the ground he made up, though.
I agree with that. I'll just say this. I have an issue with the short comment there, flew home. I don't know that they need to editorialize like that. This horse did get totally outrun early in that race. His rider took him way out near the center of the track as well, as he was distanced up the backstretch. But he did make a run. He got closer around the turn, and he did run on through the stretch. But you're 100% right. Those leaders dueled in front of this horse and certainly gave him a chance to make up ground at the end. I like the way he finished. I really like his pedigree. I like the outside draw he has here too. I think he is going to move forward here. We'll see how much.
He does feel like one that's got a chance to move forward for trainer Safi Joseph, who does have some pretty good stats with maiden second-time starters, especially in Florida. Let's go to our picks for this DRF Friday race of the day. And Mike, I wasn't going to get too creative here. I put the number 6 Vino Vici on top. Just felt like he's getting some class relief. Don't love horses that have burned some money for high-profile barns, but just feels like he might be landing in the right spot. You went for the horse drawn right outside of him, who does have more upside.
Yeah, he's got upside here. We'll see if he can take the step forward. Hopefully he doesn't get totally outrun early in this race. I just didn't necessarily want to take the 2 or the 6, who feel like the logical horses in here. There'll be short prices. I didn't really want either one. I'll try the 7.
Everybody, if you watched to this point, make sure to hit that subscribe button before you move away from this video down below. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, hit the like button underneath this video. 6723 for me and 7623 for Mike in the DRF Friday race of the day at Gulfstream Park. Good luck if you're playing the races later this week.